Right. Welcome back to the Vintage Sanctuary. 10 underrated non-Hall of Fame cards. Buy them now. Or will you be sorry? No, because you could just buy them later. In fact, wait as long as you want. Isn't that the beauty of collecting cards that are not, that are not the ones that get hyped up, the ones that, granted, can be incredibly iconic, and I love those too. But what about some of these cards that fly under the radar and are just absolutely amazing? I'm going to look at 10 of those with you today if you stick around. By the way, am I saying all of these players should be in the Hall of Fame? No, what the heck do I know? Although I think maybe a couple of them should be. At least a couple. Without further ado, one more thing, a little bit more ado. These aren't necessarily in order. I thought about putting them in order, but, I love them all, so let's do it. Oh, yeah. All right. So, number 1, non-Hall of Famer card. You can buy it now or later. The 54 Red Heart Big Clue Ted Kluszewski. So why? Why this card? Well, it's a red heart with a glorious red background. I mean, it's a food and beverage issue. It's not going to cost you an arm and a leg. And we are talking the Big Clue, man. The Big Clue. If it weren't for some back issues, this dude would be in the Hall of Fame. But I tell you what, mid-50s, he was just kicking butt. And, ultimately going sleeveless. Even the uniforms couldn't contain his arms. Management, nothing they could do about it. But just let those mammoth biceps and shoulders have a little room so he could swing freely. So that, my friends, is number 10. We're going to go to number 9. I tell you what, when you hear how Ted Williams and others talk about Ed Lopat, this dude was something special. He had a lot to do with the Yankees, doing a lot of winning. The junk man, because he didn't have a fastball, but boy, was he smart. And he had a lot of pitches, and he knew batters. And this is one of my favorite cards, 52 Bowman. I absolutely love 52 Bowman. Perhaps my favorite vintage set in terms of just that vintage art. And look at this glorious beauty. This is indeed one of my favorite cards. And I tell you what, in 51, Lopat had a season for the ages. And in 52, he was doing great as well. Check out the 51, 21 games while losing only 9, and just big time kicked butt in the World Series. Now we're going to go on to number 8, and that would be, speaking of Yankee pitchers that had a lot to do with the Yankees winning, this dude had a crazy amount to do with the Yankees winning. I waited a long time to get just the right copy of this card at the right price. 53 Bowman color, Allie Reynolds, the 50th anniversary patch for the World Series. Look at that. This card, you've got the facade in the background. You've got the Super Chief. What a look on his face. Looks like he's getting ready to pitch, although I think maybe this was posed. Just a posed picture. I don't know, but I absolutely love it nonetheless. And this thing is a gem. This is a Gem Mint 6 right here. Whoo! So that, let's see, 10-9-8. Let's go 7. Number 7. Also Super Chief, but look at this. I tell you what, some of these 4s are just amazing. It might be the best grade because you'll get these 4s that are just, to me, just trivial things keep them from being 10. And not just that, but, it's like, how much more visual appeal are you going to get by getting this card in a higher grade? I mean, to me, I know I'm becoming a softie, but it's like, it doesn't get much better than this. And this is just a 4, and the centering, oh man, just the clean and sharp, beautiful nature of this card. We'll put him over there. Let's see. That's number 7. We are getting ready to move on to number 6. And I tell you what, this is such a beautiful card. The 54 Red Heart, Al Rosen, and this dude was the American League MVP in 1953. Let's see if it says that on the back. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Voted American League Most Valuable Player in 1953. And 53 also led the American League in home runs and runs scored. Also, in 50 led in homers with 37. Look at that smile. This card is just absolutely stunning. And so this is number 6 on the list of 10 fantastic non-Hall of Fame cards. We're going to go back to the Big Clue and 1952. Any card from 1952 is special, and to me, this one is extra special in a Vintage Greatness 3 because look at that, man. Look at that. That color is just so beautiful. Talk about vintage art. This thing is sharp and sweet and clean and just absolutely glorious. And it's the Big Clue from 1952. Yeah, get this one. Get it now, get it later. But get this one. Wow, wow, wow. I've mentioned this before. Some of these have a kind of a pink tint. I really like it. All right, I think we're down to number 5. With a WAR of 39.5, a 5-time All-Star, a 5-time World Series champion. Oh, when you're known as the clutch and old reliable, you are helping your team out. And this is the ultra glorious in a 60. Woo-hoo. 41 play ball, Tommy Henrik. Look at that. Wow, wow, wow. You know what? I've been leaving these in the sleeves. Saves me, 38 minutes. Probably doesn't save that much time, but anyway, but I'm taking this one out of the sleeve. Man, oh man. 41 play ball, Tommy Henrik. Here's a card. Here's a card to go after. This dude indeed proved a useful member of the New York Yankees. That is for sure. That is an understatement. Yeah. By the way, I'm just finishing up a book written by Tommy Henrik, known as 5 O'Clock Lightning. I've probably got about 20 pages to go. Talks about his experience in his years with the Yankees and playing with Joe DiMaggio. And lots of wonderful insight. So that was number 5. Now for number 4, I'm going to go ahead because we are going kind of modern here. So I'm going to go ahead and take the sleeve off. This is one of my favorite Barry Bonds cards. I think this dude should be in the Hall of Fame. Even if, I don't think we should brush under the rug the performance-enhancing drugs. Heck, put it on the plaque, there's no need to try to whitewash history, but at the same time, I think this dude deserves to be in the hall. Anyway, Black Refractor 2006 Topps Chrome. I don't know what it is, but this particular card image, and then you also have the refractor and black. This to me is just such a stunning and beautiful baseball card. So elegant. And there's only 549. This is 302 out of 549. 7th National League MVP. Man, that is just insane. Just insane. Yeah. 549, right? Yeah, 540. That's small. That is not a big number. Not a big number. Not for the 2006 Topps Chrome Barry Bonds Black Refractor, which is just so elegant. I could stare at this card all day. So I think, let's see, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Wait, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. I think that's number 3. Let me do some counting here. 2. Yeah, I think that's number 3. Okay, that is number 3. And now for number 2. Number 2 of 10 underrated non-Hall of Famer cards. Buy them now or simply buy them later. Number 2, I tell you what, 2001, that was the year that Barry Bonds ripped it up for 73 home runs. Just insane. I think it's super cool to have. I've got maybe three Barry Bonds cards from 2001, but this is my favorite. This is one of the shiniest refractors on the planet. And the 2001 Bowman Chrome Barry Bonds X-Fractor. And it's that red and black. I tell you what, red and black together, that just really works for me. And the X-Fractor, I love X-Fractors as well. To me, this card really, really shines. Let's see. Can't remember the scoop on this. I mean, there's not tons of them out there, but it's not serial numbered. And here we have a fine 9. And what a year, 2001. What a year. So I got this at auction. I think it was like $200 or a little under 200, which I thought was a pretty sweet deal. Look at that. Wow. All right, that's number 3. And now we're going to take a little intermission. I'm going to show you another non-Hall of Famer. Actually, 3 of his cards. 2 I've shown before, 1 I have not, but this will be a little intermission. And then we'll just have one card to go on my top 10 or top 10, or just 10, maybe not top 10, 10 underrated non-Hall of Famer cards. So let's have the intermission. Woohoo! All right, this I've shown before. This is the 2019 Independence Day Aaron Judge out of 76. Got this stunner for $150, which I personally think is a steal, an absolute steal. And now a card that I have not shown before. Got in the mail within the last, I think, week. And I think I paid $240. Was super stoked to get it. 2019 Topps Black Aaron Judge, number 38 out of 67. Oh man, should be out of 68, by the way, because 1951 plus 68 would be 2019. So Topps messed up on the math and made one less than they should have, but hey, that's all right. Still, check that pair out. Talk about pair excellence. Woo-hoo! Super stoked to have those. Yeah, shout out to Eric, those back pages, who really goes after the blacks, and I think he probably has quite a few Independence Days as well. And shout out to Shane, Shoebox Legends, who I believe him and I are clubbies. He has this very pair that I believe he's shown recently. What the heck? Shout out to Dylan. You know, he's getting cards like this too. I can't remember if he has either of these, but we're going to shout him out too. Shout out to the rest of you who love these or have them or want them. Yeah. So Judge, a non-Hall of Famer now. I think he will be a Hall of Famer one day, but he is a non-Hall of Famer. This is the intermission though, and then I'm also going to show this Judge card. I've shown it before. Fairly recent pickup. I think I've had it maybe a month-ish or so, maybe a little less, but finally got myself a Judge rookie. This Transcendent collection, they made 87. This is 67 out of 87. They made them to look like different years. This is the 2007 design. That's why it's number 2007. And yeah, I'm super stoked to have this. This was, roughly a couple $100. I think a little bit more, maybe 220 or something, but super, super stoked. Yeah, I absolutely love this card. Yeah, so there's some non-Hall of Famer intermission, although we imagine he will be a Hall of Famer in the future. And now it looks like that leaves one spot. So I did save this one for last on purpose. A war veteran, a Negro leaguer, a Yankee, and the first black Yankees player. And a lot of people feel like this dude should be in the Hall of Fame. And we are talking about Mr. Elston Howard. Yeah, in a Fantastic Four. Who doesn't love 56 Topps? I tell you what, with my collecting over the last couple years, I feel like I've been super slow to add. I love the big Topps, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, and yet I've been so slow to add cards from those sets. And so, hey, need to get to work on that. But you know how it goes budget-wise, everybody. It takes time, right? You guys can look at cards faster than I can buy them. You know, I could take my month's budget and buy one card, and then, you know, that's kind of it for a while as far as new additions. But I think this was $25. Got it a few years back. What a steal. I love the cartoons on the back of this too. Yeah, absolutely love this card. Yeah, this dude he was an MVP, maybe 1963, I don't remember, but in the early 60s. You know, fantastic player. 56 tops. What a stunning card. We'll put him there with Judge. Show some Yankees. I know this was kind of Yankee heavy, but that's because, you know, I collect Yankees. So what can I say? But I like other teams, other players as well. Let me turn this camera around. All right, there you have it. 10 underrated non-Hall of Famers. You can buy them now. You can buy them later. You won't regret it if you buy them now. You won't regret it if you buy them later. No regrets, man. No regrets. Let's go out on this bad boy. Woo, look at that shine. Woo, woo, woo. Oh, man. All right. Thank you for sharing in my joy. I hope you had a wonderful and peaceful time in the Vintage Sanctuary. Take care of my collecting brothers and sisters.